Welcome to Teen ypww Lesson 5. I do not own the rights to this music. Today's topic is Turn the Lights On, Part 2. The lesson text is coming out of Matthew chapter 5, verses 1 through 22, Acts chapter 16, verses 16 through 40. The memory verse is Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. I will read the King James Version first, and then the New International Version. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. The New International Version. In the same way, let your light shine before others that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. The key for today's lesson: don't be afraid to glow in the dark. The focus for today's lesson: God has called us to be witnesses of the light of His presence in our lives. This week, we continue our discussion of a few more aspects of our role as the light of the world. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 15, we are compared to being a candle on a candlestick that was purchased specifically to bring light to a dark situation. There are many dark situations in societies all around the world. The purpose of this lesson is to have a discussion and enlighten your awareness about darkness. Our intent is not to commission you, teen listeners, to be a type of superhero and crusade against all of the darkness that you see. No, indeed. However, as a bearer of the light of Jesus Christ, there may be times when you will encounter firsthand those who love darkness more than light. Therefore, a lesson of this type is merited. Several organizations in our world boast about being dark. The dark web, the dark nights, and the dark society are the names of three of these types of organizations. There are various varieties of dark societies with specific agendas. Our stand as believers is to oppose these organizations and their agendas, not as caped crusaders, but as carriers of the light of Jesus Christ. The purpose of the candlestick was emphasized by Jesus when he said that men do not buy candles to put them under a bushel, meaning that candles or lamps are not purchased to be stored or hidden. Candles are purchased to be put up high on a stand so that everyone in the house can benefit from the illumination of their light. The darkness in the house is dispelled when the candlestick or lamp is positioned in its proper place. There are several accounts in the Word of God of believers who had direct experiences with dark, demonic situations. Our lesson today will discuss the encounter that the Apostle Paul had with a slave woman who had an evil spirit of divination that could predict the future of people. This demon possessed woman experienced an encounter with the light of Jesus Christ that was in the light of the Apostle Paul. In the 16th chapter of Acts, Paul, Silas, and Timothy had just accomplished a very successful ministry campaign. Several church congregations were strengthened and increased because of the evangelistic work of Paul and his team. Then they traveled by boat to their next assignment in Macedonia. Once again, they experienced great ministry success by helping the church in this region grow and increase. After these notable achievements, they met a woman who followed them and mocked them daily for many days. Paul, being weary of this demonic agitation, rebukes the devil and casts him out of her. The owners of this woman became very angry with Paul because she was profitable to them. They had Paul and Silas arrested and put in jail because they were no longer able to see the demonic activity of this woman to make money. After such great ministry accomplishments by the work of Paul and his team, they encounter a type of counterattack from the cohorts of Satan. It is important to note that Paul and his team did not do anything wrong. They were on point, obeying God and completing their kingdom building assignments. Nonetheless, this demonic woman found them. This type of scenario can happen to you too, teen listeners. Opportunities to do evil, participate in the occult, and join dark societies will find you. Without seeking trouble, sometimes trouble will find you. During these times, we encourage you to continue in the righteousness that you have learned. Don't get pulled in or trapped by the darkness that may surround you. Stand against the attacks of Satan with all your might. Keep being the candle on the candlestick that God has called you to be. In the darkest of nights, you can be the light that keeps shining bright. This is what Paul and his team did. Yes, they were arrested and suffered a brutal attack from Satan. However, they never denied the deity of God and that they were believers in Jesus Christ. They continued to let their light shine while being arrested. Their encounter with the darkness of this unpleasant situation did not diminish the success of their previous ministry campaign or their expectant outlook for their next assignment. Eventually, they were able to get out of jail and continue on their next ministry assignment. We are challenged to let our light shine when we face trouble in our personal lives. Sometimes demon possessed people, dark situations, or trouble will find us. During these times, we should continue to stand on the Word of God, remembering that He has a perfect plan for our deliverance. As candles on candlesticks are set up on high, we are duty bound to allow our light to shine even when we face opposition. Once again, we review an experience in the life of the Apostle Paul, which gives us a good example of how this principle is enacted. The questions for today's lesson. Number one, the dark cultures have influenced companies in our society that manufacture and sell general everyday products that we use. Can we do business with these institutions and not be influenced by their core beliefs? Number two, the confidence in knowing that we are striving to do everything righteously is powerful. Share a time when you were doing everything just right and yet faced challenges and trouble. Then share how God brought you out of that situation. The end. God bless you and thank you for joining me today.